It should be. Yeah, we live now.
We're live?
Well, it says setting up. Hold on.
No, we're live. We're live. You can send it to
We're
me.
live.
We'll
Okay.
go ahead, Pop.
We're live. Okay. Well, let's traditionally get this started, as we always do, with the pledge. And you know what? I don't like the idea of us doing anything by rote. I really want us to do it from our hearts in terms of understanding the necessity of it. The pledge is not just a slick little rhyme to like get us started. Those lines happen to touch me, and I'm not kidding. There's something that is in each of those lines that I have to try to live up to myself. And if you listen to what we're saying with the pledge and follow what that pledge is saying, and we could adopt some of that to our existence, it would be a much better, beautiful, more beneficial situation for all of us.
Hey, you gotta mute your phone.
All right, here we go. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy, and
Free.
I want to say what I know to help my brothers and sisters
grow.
I want to feel good about me and blame no one for my
Misery.
because I'll be strong to turn it around. I want to go up. I'm not going
Down.
I want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come
True.
Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art, even when it was
Sad.
I want to share whatever my gift. And when you're feeling low, I'll give you
A lift.
I want to live without fear and know that I'm blessed for being
Here.
and you're blessed for being
Here.
we're blessed for being
Here.
and know that we are blessed. Thank you all.
Indeed.
All right. Now today, for those that are aware,
Harambe.
we're dealing with Kwanzaa. This is a Kwanzaa time. I think you have Hanukkah, then you have Christmas, and you end it off with Kwanzaa.
Right.
And so this is Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa, for those of you that might not know the history, was started by a brother named Ron Karenga. And he was a member of the Black Panthers some years ago. He pulled away from the Panthers. He started his own organization, which is called the US organization. I thought US stood for United Students, but in recent years, I discovered us actually was just the pronoun us as opposed to them. And he was dividing himself from the Panthers. He and Huey Newton had some issues. I'm not going to go into all of that. But what Ron Karenga did, he wrote a book called Kawaida. And in Kawaida, he gives you a whole blueprint for how we should be living as African American people. And in that book, you'll find Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa was just one part of what his whole building block situation was about. This is just one of the building blocks. So I'm going to just set it off by doing this little rap about Kwanzaa. For those of you who know about Kwanzaa, then you'll be familiar with what I'm saying. And if you're not aware, listen, and maybe you'll know something about it after I'm finished. Kwanzaa is a holiday for 7 days, with 7 laws to learn 7 different ways. Now the language is Swahili and it's plain to see this is an African connection to bring unity. Kwanzaa means first fruits of the harvest time. Now we may not own a garden, but we got our minds. Plant the seeds in our head that we can grow at will, cultivate and educate until it's time to chill. Nguzo Saba means 7 laws. Each one is on a mission for a righteous cause. Number 1 is umoja, which means unity, like a fist clenched tight. That's the way we should be. Number 2 is Kujichagalia, self-determination, turn a T into a spear. Number 3 is Ujima, responsibility, look out for one another like a family. Number 4 is Ujama, cooperative economics, put our money together, have more in our pockets. Number 5 is Nia, which means purpose for all. Everything has a purpose, no matter how big or small. Number 6 is Kumba, creativity, sing a dance, but take a chance to let yourself be free. Number 7 is Imani, and Imani means faith, to believe in yourself when nothing seems safe. Kwanzaa, right?
Yes.
Harambe.
So
Yes.
we got that cleared away. And of course, there's a brother that I want to pay respect to. His name, I think his name is Makeke. He checked out, and he was one of the first brothers who happened to appear on our virtual open house in the beginning. And he's from, I believe, Nigeria, I think. And I know he's from Africa, and he also played the guitar. And you see his picture on the screen. And I don't know what he died from, but he suddenly departed. And that's another thing we have to discuss at some point in time. And have that discussion with yourself and other brothers and sisters around you, that we can't look at death as the end. It actually is another cycle. And that's what we're in. We're in a cycle. The energy doesn't go anywhere. It's like the wind might just stop blowing here in the east, but it's blowing someplace else. And we are like the wind. We're energy. So we need to recognize that, because death is so morbid. It sounds like it's such a closed door, locked up, and nothing can open it up. And life and death have a lot in common. They both are particular paradigms that we have to deal with. So the brother is not here, but he's with us spiritually, and I want to just thank him for his participation in the time that he was here. So you see that picture on the screen? I guess everybody sees it.
I'm getting it up right now so everybody can see it, but you can go ahead and talk about it.
You have it, Ade?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all. Here's my face. Damn. Yeah, here we go. All right, for Matete.
Matete?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you say it? That's how you say it? Matete?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give him my best
brother, right?
pronunciation.
Yeah. And you don't know what he died from, Juanita?
To my understanding, he just fell suddenly ill. He just was vomiting and was ill and died.
Could have been the virus, huh?
No, it wasn't the virus. Joe Hari spoke to him that day or that night, and then she got the news that he was gone. So we don't know what it was, but it just, it was his time.
Yeah, right, exactly. And that's the bottom line. You don't know what part of Africa was it? Nigeria?
He's in Johannesburg.
Oh, he's in
South Africa.
South Africa, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Joe? Oh no. But he's from Johannesburg, and he played the guitar for us and sang a song.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's Caesar. I'm also from South Africa. Johari invited me here today.
Oh, wow.
In honor
Caesar.
of our brother. Greetings, everyone. Hello, everybody.
Hi, nice to meet you.
I'm from out here in South Africa. Yeah.
Blessings.
Yes. He did die from a heart attack, unfortunately, but yeah. And if you may, in his honor, because he was a fellow poet, a friend, a humble soul. Can I just read a poem? We were very big in writing in our African languages, and translation became a big deal for us as well. So I'm going to read a poem that I wrote that we were working on. He was supposed to put music on it. So It's in isiZulu.
Okay.
And I've translated it into English because, yeah.
Is this dedicated? Is this dedicated to the brother?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
okay.
Pop.
Now, are you in Johannesburg right now?
Right now I'm in Kimberley, but it's in South Africa as well. So it's in the Northern Cape.
Okay.
It's in the Northern Cape in South Africa, but I'm from Soweto, Johannesburg.
Okay. So you're near Cape Town?
No, it's very far. No, it's like another province. Yeah,
okay.
It's quite far.
I've been to Durban, of course,
okay.
Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town. And I really
nice.
I enjoyed Cape Town very much. That's
wait till you get to Soweto. You should visit Soweto.
Yeah. So go ahead, share your poem. Go ahead, baby. You got it.
Sure. Izinto ey'phukile. Hayi ngoba ngiphuma phakathi kwezinto ey'phukile. Ziyachichima izibaya ekhaya. Ugogo uzethe zonke ngamagama. Ngelinye ilanga enye yezinkomazi yaswela ukubuyela emzimkhulu. Sayizwa impongoloza ngomlomo, mu mu, ayashisa amabele. Ubisi lugcwele, ithole liyafa indlala. Ngicela ungivulele salukazi. Wavula ugogo lathokoza ithole, lathoba unina ngokuncela. Salekelela nathi ngokuyisenga, saluphuza alufudumele ubisi. Hayi ngoba ngiphuma phakathi kwezinto ey'phukile, ngiphuma emanxiweni, emisamo edungwe yizivunguvungu, ezaleni lapho abadala belinde khona, lapho abafazi beguqa ngamadolo aphukile. Ngibazi kahle ubuhlungu bokufelwa yizinto ey'khonzile, ujeke lokufaka izimbali, nezindaba zesitofu samalahle sikagogo ngakhiwe ngomlotha. Ngiphula izinto intukuthelo, hhayi ngoba ngiphuma phakathi kwezinto ey'phukile. Not because I emerged from different things, from broken things. Crows in my homestead are overflowing. Grandmother has named them all. One day, one of the heifers was late to return to the great house. We heard it bellowing, moo, moo, my teeth are in heat. There is abundant milk, the calf is emaciated. Please let me in, old lady. Grandmother opened up to the calf's jubilation. It soothed its mother by suckling. We also assisted by milking it. We drank the milk while it was warm, not because I emerged out of ropes from ancestral altars solved by waiting, where women knees. I know pain well, the sorrow of losing that which I held dear, a bowl in which flowers were kept, the coal stove tales of grandmother. I am built out of ashes. I break things out of anguish, not because I come the midst of broken things.
Woo.
So yeah, that was the poem in the
You know what?
translation.
Peace.
Thank
You know what?
you.
I didn't, when you did it, it was the first version in Zulu.
Yes,
What was
this
it?
is Zulu,
But
yeah.
you know, when you did it in Zulu, I don't understand. I don't speak the language, but the
I
passion,
know.
no, but the feel,
Mm-hmm.
you translated the feeling. I could feel it, even though I didn't understand the words. I could actually, I think other people probably have the same feeling I had. But then when you
Wow.
translated it, I felt like I understood what you were saying. I mean, it was just,
Wow.
it's a beautiful
Yeah.
poem.
And that's the
Absolutely.
beauty of poetry. You know, Matit and I spoke about this. This is one of the poems that wrote themselves because it just came in isiZulu. You know, it wrote itself. I don't even feel it was about, you know, like it comes from me. It came through me. So
Oh, yes.
yeah, that's the thing also about writing in our languages, right? A lot of it gets lost in translation. So
Right. Yes,
yeah.
yes. But the main thing that I think that all of us who were listening got was the sincere feelings that came from it. And you see, the truth of the matter is that we're masters of sound.
Yes.
And sound and sound overcomes words. Words really are pale in comparison to the sound. I mean,
Yeah.
and because we can say a word that's a nasty word, a curse word, but we can say it the way we could put syrup and sugar on top of it and make you digest that word. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about when the rapper gets on stage and he say, "What's up with my motherfuckers? I'm not your motherfucker." But the way they say it, they say it in a way that say, "Yeah, I'll be your motherfucker." Yeah, right there. Because it's said in a tone. It's about the tone that actually captivates whatever the word's meaning is supposed to be. But then, you know, we have that privilege. We've already decided that this English language is insufficient to define the depths of our feelings. So we'll take this language and we'll toss it around and we'll invert words and we'll make bad good and dope great and stupid wonderful. And nobody else on the planet even imagines doing stuff like that. But we have to do that because we're people of sound. And if it sounds right, we'll work with it.
Very true.
Hey, let's keep it moving. Thank you, Sister Love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to speak on what she did? Don't leave her hanging.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You blessed us.
Felt the passion.
Yeah, it's excellent to hear it in both languages.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You know, one of the
listening.
people I love, and I mean I never met, was Paul Robeson. You know, Paul Robeson spoke 18 languages, and he understood 25.
Wow.
Now, when you can speak another language, that means that you can think in that language.
Exactly.
That Paul Robeson's brain was exploding. This man had a brain that was gigantic. I mean, how could you departmentalize all 18 languages? I mean, he could speak Mandarin, Cantonese. I mean, he could speak Japanese. I mean, come on. The list was unbelievable. He could sing folk songs in Russian. The man was unreal. So we need to open our minds up to other languages because that's an expansion of our brain as well. Because it's something that we need, because we're not just American or speak English has really been very dominant to the point where you got people that say if you can't speak English, you must be stupid. No, that's out of order.
That's what's so outrageous. People in other countries speak numerous languages, and you think you're doing something because you can speak English. You know, Ho Chi Minh spoke about 12 languages.
You know what I'm saying?
I got friends that speak 8 and 9 languages.
You know, in Goma, do you remember when Fidel came here?
Yeah.
He'd have an interpreter, but Fidel went to New York University.
Right. So you know you can speak English.
Probably didn't want to
A lot of folks don't realize that. Fidel Castro actually went to NYU. So you know he could speak English.
Right. Ho Chi Minh went to NYU too, I think. Either that or Columbia, one or two. Yeah.
And he was also a busboy.
I will go even farther than that. You're talking about all these leaders and educated people. I was in Egypt.
Somebody need to turn their mic off.
Okay.
Hello?
All right, listen up.
We're going to keep it. Little trinkets at the pyramids. I sit there and listen to him for about 20 minutes. He spoke Chinese, Mandarin, Cantonese, Japanese, French, Spanish.
Who is this? Oshun, Pop. Oshun is talking.
From the pyramids.
Oh, okay.
And he spoke, as a matter of fact, he spoke Spanish last. One of the people I was with from work was there with us. And he said something to him in Spanish. And the guy responded to him in Spanish. And I looked at him because I used to speak Russian. Haven't used it so long, I don't speak it. But I looked at him, I said, "We говорю русский язык?" And he goes, "Yeah, да говорю." And I'm like, "What language don't you speak?" He said, "Well, here in Asia, you have to learn a little bit of everything to do business."
Right, that's right.
This is an everyday, ordinary person who stood in front of me and in 20 minutes spoke about 10 languages. Enough to conduct business and collect money.
Wow, that's serious. It broadened your mind on a lot of levels. I mean, I'm a language person. I like languages. I like to learn something, and I appreciate it. But I appreciate the way the sister did her piece because she gave it to us in her native language, and then she went on and did it in English, and it flowed just very naturally, like it was no problem. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the way the sister did her piece because she gave it to us.
Pop, you want to call on somebody next?
Yeah, well, Joshua is he here? Is Joshua here?
Is on there today.
Well, let's hear from you, brother.
Looking, I don't see him on here. I was just looking.
Grace on there. Yeah, we got Matthew on there. Ayana.
So we had someone new. We can go with a seasoned vet.
All right, well, let's go in Goma since he's. I always love to hear what Goma got to say.
Yes.
Come on, Goma.
Go ahead and unmute Ngoma, because you and Oshun were in the same place. It was sound was bouncing off. So
Oshun and Ngoma.
Okay, here's two short pieces. This one I wrote on Cashman's Day. It's called Pass Past Puff.
Oh.
And Goma, tell Osun to mute her mic so we don't hear the double up on the echo.
The echo.
Mute your mic. Otherwise,
yeah, if she presses mute button, then what you just said will.
Claim she hit mute. I don't know. We're on two different gadgets. So
it's all close, right?
Yeah. Anyway, let me roll. The ancestors crowded the kitchen, knocking food onto the floor, eating before their red cracked plate could be piled high with food and served from ancient recipes in DNA passed down from mouth to ear. Water flooded the floor. Oshun made her presence known. Pounded yam, snail, and a goosey stew prepared. Osala accepts these prayers and offerings on this 9th trip around the sun. I'm having trouble remembering what day it is. Blame it on COVID. Everyone is masked or quarantined. It seems like Groundhog Day. Last week disappeared. I didn't know it was gone. It's a bit disturbing when I can count the number of my friends that are still on the planet on 10 fingers. The world is at my fingertips, but I miss the feel of earth between my toes. Though I'm a city dweller, I lived on hillsides many lives ago. Years create some foolish thought that time can be measured. It's only a mirage spawned by mortals, but who is to say or how long it takes to build a pyramid? Where all existence is immediate and past, present, future is synonymous. She came singing happy rebirth of the sun through the manger of Capricorn, not the sun. The planets still rotate, only change is constant. All the news got me buying stock in body bags. How do I know if the vaccine is not more deadly than the dis-ease? Will there be a COVID shot police in a prison cell for those who refuse to be human lab rats? So we stand on the edge of a new decade and all the passwords say expired.
Nice.
So that's what I'm
You know what? It's like, like I'm a basketball nut. And I know one thing. If I have a team, I want Ngoma to be my point guard. If I need a basket, if I need a 3-point basket or whatever to win the game, Ngoma's got the shot. You always hitting, brother. Ngoma, I've known you for many, many moons, and I've never, ever, ever known you to come up short, brother. I am so proud of your work and the way you think. I love how you think because you think right. And you always you connect the dots in a way that we can see the madness for what it really is. Thank you.
Wait, I got one more short one. Let me bust this right quick. This is called The Day After Cashmas. 'Twas the day after Cashmas. Problems piled high. The Grinch played golf, still feeling while Rome burns. Pardoning God, sons of Hitler, suffering delusion that the castle was not crumbling. He mimics Henny Penny, screaming the sky is falling, as we watch a meltdown, praying that it holds up at least until the coronation. But remember, on Cashmas morn, a bomb exploded in Nashville. It certainly was a strange way to celebrate the birthday of the Prince of Peace. There's a plague hanging like a shadow, like a cloud above the planet, taunting revelations to prove his existence. Holy Babel thumpers prepare for the rapture. The truth is wearing a mask.
Man. Right. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Right on it. Right on it. That little thing I say, Humpty Trumpty, sat on the wall. Humpty Trumpty had a great fall. And all the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Trumpty back together again.
again.
I mean, but that's it, man. You captured it. And it's so funny because a lot of folks don't even realize in all those little nursery rhymes, they're telling the truth about themselves. If
right.
You go into those nursery rhymes, you'll discover the decadence of this character. I mean, he's a trip. Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. So he put her in a pumpkin shell, and there
they kept her very well.
I mean, come on now. I mean, it's quite clear that we're dealing with a perverted mind, and he can't even escape himself. Thank you once again, Ngoma. Thank you.
We are welcome. Thank y'all for listening.
Hey, man, thank you for being there and writing and giving it to us. Because, you know, it's important that we recognize and that we understand where we're at and what's going on. But it takes a poet to put it in a composite way for you to really get a grip on what's happening. I mean, because there's a way that can be said of the tremendous issues that we are faced with, but it's a way that can be said in such a way that we can understand that we can handle this, we can deal with this. But you can't really tell until you hear it said by a poet. Poets kind of make it clear as to what you're facing. Thank you for giving us a mirror for us to see us and the situation at the same time.
Thank you. I'm glad I could do it.
Let's move right along. Who wants to be next? I know it's a hard act to follow, but hey, let's get with it.
Can I go?
Yes, you can.
Hey.
And who are you? Talk to us.
Yex. So I joined y'all 2 weeks ago for the first
Oh yeah,
time.
Yex.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your name YEX.
YEX.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
why do you
brace yourself.
why you spell your name YEX?
Well, my mother named me Yexandra, so that is my real that's my birth name.
Your mother named me Yexandra. So
Yexandra.
what do your mother know that we don't know?
Maybe how powerful I am. I don't know, but Yexandra and YEX. YEX
Right now.
Maybe how powerful I am. Woo.
She had to give me a name that nobody else has, so you know.
You know what?
You'll never meet another.
Well, you know what? When you see your mama, give your mama a big kiss for me. And so I think that's perfect. All right.
I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I lost my mother this year at the beginning of the year. And as you were speaking about death, is that my mother was a woman who was grounded in spirituality. And she taught us how to embrace death. She taught us that energy never dies. It just transfers and it recycles, just as you were saying in the beginning. So we see death as a very beautiful thing in my family. There are a lot of beautiful things that come from death. And, as the phenomena which constitute us as humans, we tend to be attached to the physical connection, but the spiritual connection, it never dies. So when I speak to her and when I give her reverence, I will tell her to thank you.
You don't know how much your mother in her presence made me feel very good right now. What you had to say. She raised her daughter right. That's so beautiful. Amen. So beautiful. Well, I want to hear from you. Yes, go ahead. Let's do your thing, baby.
Okay, thank you. This piece is a piece for that is it's an ode to my daughter. It's an open letter to my daughter. My daughter, she'll be 15 soon, and she has.
Wait. You said your daughter will be what? What?
15.
You look like you're 16.
I know. Thank you.
You got a daughter that's going to be 15?
Absolutely.
Now, when you were 8 or 9?
I was 16.
Well, God has preserved your beauty, honey. You don't look a day over 16.
I appreciate it. And just to give it a little bit of context, she has a head full of long, beautiful locks. So I just want to give it a little bit of context. Okay. I read an article the other day about a Black toddler named Darnell Gray that had gone missing, during which the local police department justified why he wasn't worthy of an Amber Alert. This is an open letter to my daughter. Dear Syra, I should have named you Amber just in case. I should have named you Amber because Black children always fit the description but never the criteria. God forbid you disappear. Maybe they'd be as quick to put your face on the back of chocolate milk cartons as they are when they place you in handcuffs, or in cop cars, or in jail cells, or in graveyards, or in boxes with check marks that they use to marginalize, stained black ink on white paper with no drawn lines. I should have named you Amber because a ghetto-sounding name could be the link between what distinguishes one as missing versus a runaway. White children go missing, slaves run away, black boys can't whistle, white girls tell white lies, Jim Crow got your tongue while George Stinney fries. I should have named you Amber so that when you speak, you don't have to repeat yourself. Sorry to bother, it's Syra, not Cyrus. Sorry to bother, it's Sarji, not Sarah. Spirit of forefathers, it was Kunta, never Toby. Syra. Like science, like the only black that matters to them, the one in outer space. Like science, if only they'd realize the carbon copied galaxy freckled upon your face. Like sun gods. See, I should have named you Amber, but I named you Syra instead because I knew your locks would begin where namesake ends, and if I would have named you Amber, they would have renamed you Medusa. They dread little black girls with magical powers. Like Latasha Harlins and Ayanna Jones and India Kager and Nia Wilson and Sandra Parks. Oh, children of the ghetto, you should have all been named Amber because they're white physicians without borders or boundaries or morals or humanity, butchering black names and black babies. Melanin still goes for $3.50 a gram. Do it for the gram. I ain't gonna do it. Don't do it. It's a sham. You've been bamboozled. Worth more dead than alive. Hoodwinked. I should have named you Amber so that when you interview for positions, you don't feel a need to straighten out your kinks. And when you show up for work, you can really arrive because shrinking yourself to fit European beauty standards could kill you spiritually inside. Maybe I shouldn't have named you Amber. Maybe I should have named you A, B, C, D, E, so the entire world knows you come first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and not just a fraction of that. And you wouldn't have to unscrew caps on fifths of Hennessy to look for fractured fragments of yourself because your biggest riff with life is TSA making fun of your name. Shoot, even I can pronounce it. Absidy, hands up, don't shoot. The caucasity of you to judge them by their names. I should have named you Amber, but you are much more precious than a stone. Thank you, y'all.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Bars. Brilliant.
Gunshot.
Thank you so
Enough
much.
respect.
I appreciate it.
Enough respect.
Walking around with hand grenades down the mouth. Lord, have mercy.
Hold on really quickly because she's
Enough
standing right
respect.
here. Hold on. This is my daughter right here.
Oh,
That's Amber right there.
Yeah, her name is
Amber.
Syra.
He said Amber.
He said that's Amber, huh?
That's special. That is so special. That's
That was
a powerful
beautiful.
piece.
I appreciate it.
Beautiful. What a
Oh, that's
blessing.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you for sharing. That
Thank
was
you
awesome.
for sharing.
That
Come
was
on, y'all,
wonderful.
speak on it. I don't want to be the only one.
I would
It was wonderful, man. That was fantastic. I mean, from beginning to end, I mean, just, it was wonderful, man. The vibration that went out, man, we all heard that. It was undeniable.
That was dope. That was really dope.
Yeah, that was
I
dope.
appreciate it. So this poem came from, the inspiration came from, I was literally reading an article about a young black boy, and we know the kind of disparities that we face. And the sheriff's department in this article is justifying why this young black boy is not worthy of an Amber Alert. And we see a lot of people who share articles of missing kids constantly online, and sometimes it's haphazardly so. But because they don't always check what the result is, but every article that crosses my path, I have to read it. And it just blew my mind that they had the audacity to explain why they're not giving this 3-year-old toddler a Amber Alert, and this is where this poem came from.
Wow.
They gave you a reason to share some truth that we needed to hear, honey. So you didn't sit and mope about it. You did something about it, and you created a masterpiece. Go ahead.
I wanted to tell you, I was on a panel recently with a Pan-African panel, so I got to be speaking to all these professors over in Africa, and one of them was living in America, and she went back to visit her grandma, and her grandma,
You know, we used to being told that these names are ghetto or whatever, like Abiodun said, that it's not even what they say, it's the tone they put on our names. Oh, your name Candace, this and that. So she was back there visiting her grandma, and her grandma, I think it was Keisha, it might have been something else, but it was a name that we consider like black people made up this name, black people made up.
A Project African name.
And she found out that this name was like hundreds of years old. So once again, we have this genetic memory of bringing back like sacred things, whether we know it or not, and whether people tell us we're trash or ghetto or not. You know what I'm saying? And these are like names of queens.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I was thinking that the whole time you speak in your poem, you speak nothing but the truth, you know? So I guess it's like one of those forgive them for they know not
what they do.
I appreciate it. And you know, I was talking to a friend about when we're talking about passing on generational wealth, people forget to pass on. We have to talk about passing on spiritual wealth also, and how you know, that genetic memory that you're talking about, it passes through 3 generations, because when your grandmother has your mother in her womb at 3 months conception, her eggs are formed, and you're really there in your grandmother's womb. So all of the genetic memory is passed on for 3 generations. So it's important to know, like Self-Suffice was just saying, that all of this is memory. You know, even if we think that we don't know where it's coming from the internal software that we have that has all of this memory encoded in it.
Yeah. You know,
I want to say something too.
Go ahead.
I'm emotional already, like, period. But when you speak, when you're reciting your poetry, it's chilling for me.
That's what I said.
You exude knowledge and compassion and love. Like, your voice alone does that. That's crazy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
You're an old soul, honey, in a new body, and I appreciate that very much. That was a very, very monumental piece, and I mean, it lives. But that's what this is about.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Pharaoh,
hey,
yes.
Yo, what's up?
Pharaoh.
I want to say, hey, Jess, what's up, baby?
Hey,
I want to say, sister, you wrote that thing. First of all,
thank you.
Right. So I had this discussion when I first moved to Texas. I was at a function with some people, right? And they were there was like a this paper going around. It was like a joke, like 10 ways to know if you're ghetto, something like that. Something to that effect. And one of the jokes was if your kid's name ends with Ika, or something to that effect. And it was laughing, you know, like Shaniqua, Tamika, you know. So of course I wasn't going to be a party pooper, but I waited. Until they finished, and then I decided to just give them some information, right? And the information I gave them was that, you know, in the late 60s, right, when we were becoming aware of African culture, and you had popular figures change their name, right? Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar changed his name, right, from Luacinda, and Muhammad Ali, and right, and Ahmad Rashad, and Abiodun, right? So, but these are people that had access to African names. There were many of us going into the 70s who did not have access to African names. However, there was a Black awareness period. So what we did was we just subconsciously created names that fit our native tongue.
Right.
So when you hear names like Shamanika or Tamika or Shaquille, or those names, that was our natural attempt to relate to our native tongue, because Sally, Peter, Paul, and Sue didn't work for our native tongue. You see? So when you know that, we won't laugh at the names that are beautiful.
Right.
Like the names that we hear, you know, that are so creatively awesome. And when I gave that information, they were like, wow, I didn't know that. Of course you didn't know. That's why I'm sharing. So your piece is right in the line with that. And I love that.
I appreciate it. Also, not to drag it, I just want to say, like, I included Sarkji, who is Sarah Bartman, in the poem, because I feel like that when we speak to history sometimes, whether it's unintentional or not. And you know, this is the importance of being intentional, is that we do her a disservice, or we do our ancestors a disservice by not calling them by their real names, but calling them by the names that were thrown on them. People refer to Sarah Bartman all the time, still as Sarah Bartman, and that's not her name. That was never her name, you know. And then we find ourselves in spaces and settings where individuals refuse to say our names properly, as if they cannot fix their tongues to do it. And that's not a microaggression. That is an aggression. That's violence against us.
Right. Even changing the sound, like Tupac, and Farrakhan.
Oh my God.
And I think I have to jump in here and say this, that okay, we began on a very sad note. RIP to the brother who passed.
Right.
You see, language is very powerful. As I know, we talk about language. You know, language is very powerful. And anyone who can speak your language, anyone who understands your language, whose language you cannot understand, is a step ahead of you. He can conquer you if there's a battle, you know, there. And then in Africa, I'm in Nigeria, I'm in Abuja. I am Igbo. I'm an Igbo man, and here in Nigeria, we give names based on, you know, experiences. You know, my Igbo name is Osinachi, and Osinachi means a gift from God. You know, so a child has gone from God, and then there is a story behind that name. Then somebody can be Onyinyechu. Onyinyechu also means a gift from God. Can be Amaka, Chukwu Amaka, that God is beautiful. You know, yeah, these are beautiful names that we have, you know, we have in Africa. But because of colonialism, and the enforcement of the English language on us. Right. Because down here, the truth is that a lot of people cannot even speak correctly the native African tongue. And I am saying this against the backdrop that while the man was saying his poem, he mentioned egusi. Egusi is the name of a soup around here. In fact, it's native to my tribe. And he also mentioned Oshun. And that tells me that, like I've seen here and continue to see here, that we have people who are trying to find a way back to Africa, even if they are not physically connected to the continent, you know, to the motherland. It can be spiritually connected. And, you know, it excites me. It excites me. So that's what I wanted to put in.
Well, I'd like to tell you that some of us are spiritually connected directly. So I'm a priest of Ifa and Obatala. My wife is a priest of Oshun. I was initiated in Ibadan. So yeah, we connected, brother. You know what time it is.
That's beautiful.
The only thing I wanted to throw in was just
I want to rock.
Equal. Still in cages, and that whole thing about, is the Amber Alert really for everyone, or is it the illusion? And how many children, when they say they're for children, are they really taking care of all the children? And in that poem, she really brought that up, that's not the case. And so I think it's really important that keeps getting out there, that all the people who say, oh yeah, we want to help protect the children, they're only protecting certain children.
Exactly. And that's another case against the Orange Clown, when he caged the children up from Mexico. I mean, the idea of that, as far as I was concerned, when the Orange Clown put those children in cages and separated them from their mothers, I felt that was an impeachable act right there. You got to go no further. How can you, in the name of what humanity can give you cause to do something like that? How could you do that and get away with that? You know, and then he wanted to blame Obama for building the cages. Yeah, he might have built the cages, but he didn't do the cages for children.
Call the minister server next. We got to move on, she said.
Who?
Minister server.
All right. We're going to move on to the minister server.
Who rocking next? Let me rock.
All right, come on and share, baby.
Yeah. Oh, Juanita, who y'all talking about going? I'm not seeing no name. Oh, Server. I see you, Server.
Minister Server, where's he?
Where's Minister Server?
I'm gonna ask him to unmute. There we go. Here we go.
Okay, he's there.
All right, let me see him. Can we see you, my brother? All right.
Peace and much love, Abiodun.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Big up to all the people on here. First of all, I just want to comment on the sister's piece again. It was such in the spirit of Kujichagalia. It spoke directly to self-determination. So I appreciate that. I used to teach Head Start, and you have a number of young parents that would make up some of the names that we talked about. And a number of times what I would tell them is that they could take it the next step when they create a name. They could think of the attributes that they want their child to.
Exactly.
Right.
And that name from now on means whatever those attributes that their parent gives that child. It's the next step in our own natural creativity. So I just wanted to share that first and foremost. Big up to the sister for that.
And then, and brother, it goes right along with what we used to say back in the 60s. We are about redefining ourselves.
Exactly.
So go ahead and share, brother. You got it.
So yeah, this piece I want to share is from the KRS-One 2004 album called Keep Right. The piece is called Dream. Now as we creating this new paradigm, particularly as we get older, sometimes we put ourselves on this linear time frame where if we didn't do this, we kind of forget about it. But it's very important for us to continue to dream. So this piece is done in that spirit.
Okay.
The God of your understanding has chosen you, and you agreed to be here in this space and time to do something that only you can do. Now, I won't stand here to try to tell you what it is, but deep inside of yourself, when you take time to uncover and ask yourself some vital questions like, what is it that brings me peace? What is it that brings me joy? What do I love doing? What am I willing to become highly skilled at doing? What part can I play for the betterment of the society and the world in which I want to live? When you begin to ask yourself those real questions, and it doesn't have to be done in a formal way, it can be done just like we're speaking right now. Ask yourself the questions. Look at how you see yourself in just a year from now. And if you have children, or even if you don't have children, begin to look at yourself in just a year from now. Visualize your life the way you desire it to be. And don't be afraid to dream. Word.
Okay, brother. See, that was not a poem, but it was a message, a necessary message, brother. And it was, and that's what we need, because how we see ourselves is how we conduct our day. And if you don't see yourself being worthy, then chances are you're not doing much that's worthy. You've got to see your worth, and whatever your dream is, dreams are to be manifested. Dreams, but it requires two things: hard work and faith. Hard work and faith.
Shelly next. Shelly.
Appreciate you all for letting me share you. Abiodun, look forward to seeing you again, whether it's in Atlanta or at Trinity College. Big up to you with the work you've done with the Iron Poets at the Trinity International Hip Hop Festival. Peace and much love to everyone.
Thank you, my brother. Is Shelly with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh boy, that voice kills me all the time. You got that voice. And thank you, Shelly, for being here and being so consistent. You've been here every time we do this, and let's hear from you today.
I've been loving it. It's been medicine for me.
Yes, me too.
I can't even begin to tell you how much it's just meant to me to be a part of this with all these great poets and artists. It's amazing. So
yeah.
This piece is called Black Phoenix.
Black Phoenix.
Yes.
All right.
Staring deeply in the gold detail frame mirror. My reflection, shift direction, protection. I slightly smile at my newfound resurrection. See, I've changed. Transformation, fighting my way through like a black butterfly pushing its way through a cocoon and orange moon. I fought, and I mean I fought like hell, taking the keys back, opening the shackled door to my own mental cell. Queendom. Well, queendom, it's the sweetest taste of freedom. And I ain't willing to go back to being enslaved to negative brain waves. See, I've done crossed over. And parts of me died on this journey, and I ain't looking back, 'cause back there, well, there ain't nothing for me. Just a bunch of dead carcasses, the stench of self-created enemies, and see, in front of me is the smell of buttermilk, cornbread, and flower beds. And my fingertips brush up against lavender fields, and for the first time, I can feel the warmth of the sun defrosting my tears, and they are salty. And once again, I am flavor, salting the earth, determining on myself to not give up, to not self-destruct, building a solid foundation, constructing. I'm highly favored, a dream catcher, greater is the ladder, and I'm a Black woman who rose from her ashes and cracked open my alabaster, and the fragrance of beauty has taken its rightful place. Love, peace, and grace. My grandmother gently rocked in her rocking chair while I plaited her thick, long silver hair, her bottom filled with snuff, and in her hand a spit cup, and clearing her throat, she spoke up. I know the roads were winding long, but I knew that you would make it. I knew that you would eventually come along, but you had to go through some storms. See, that's the only way that you would be made strong. And God, well, God, He changed your name, New Morn, and He placed in your heart a new song. So you sang. Sing, child, sing, 'cause you come from a lineage of queens and kings. And I kissed my grandmother's hands rocking, and she stared as I rubbed the roughness across my cheeks from picking cotton. Name determined, and through it all, living and loving and learning, and fires within could never be put out, passed down, and still and forever will continue burning, and standing tall in the glory of myself. Within me, within you, there's a fountain of overflowing wealth. So dust yourself off and down that shelf, and see yourself and love thyself, and determination, knowledge, and wisdom, and understanding blanketed me in motivation, knowing I didn't do it alone. See, it took a whole village of my heart that beats red, black, and green, Nubian beings, my ancestors, my tribe, my nation, assisting in me self-preservation, consecration, elevation, manifestation of myself, my self-determination. Peace.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Shelley.
You did
Go
that.
ahead, Shelley.
Shelly,
Go
Shelly.
ahead,
You did that.
Shelley.
You did that.
My God.
Did that.
Oh my God,
Definitely.
Shelly. I mean, your voice is outstanding, but
Yes.
when you say something with so much substance, it's like you're standing on top of a mountain, honey, and the whole world heard you. That's a special piece. You put that in your category of special pieces. That's a special poem, honey. Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you. Speak on it, brothers. Go ahead. Speak on it.
What's the name of that piece?
Black Phoenix.
Oh, Black. Yeah, because the last line, I was like, "Is that Kujichagalia?" Hey,
yeah, right.
It embodied it. Can I say something, Shelley? You are extremely talented, and I love the beauty of your work. But I'm telling you, if you was to memorize your poems, we will all be blown away out of the poems. I I want you to give us something that you know one day. One day, give it to us without looking down at it and reading it, because girl, you're gonna blow us away. You reading it, you blowing us away.
That's true. That's true.
I know what she means, because you have that voice. It's a performance. If you perform that thing, it's a wrap. My dad might just catch a plane ticket to wherever you are.
Wherever you are.
Yes, you got that ability. As a matter of fact, we got another sister here who is known for performing her poetry, and she's made quite a statement in this land called America. She won the Apollo 5 times at amateur night. Now to go up on that stage, on an amateur night and perform poetry and get those brothers and sisters in Harlem to say yay, yay, yay 5 times, you know she had to be bad. And I love her to death. And she is like a member of our family. Jessica, come on, baby. Jessica Care More.
Yeah.
I'm reading.
Rock, baby.
I'm reading from my book.
Oh, good.
How's King, by the way?
He's driving me fucking nuts. So can I speak to you? He's doing great. He's getting fed, lots of food, and he sleeps a lot.
Well, he's your son. You created that monster.
Monster. And I named him King, so I'm his humble servant.
Yep, you did that. It's like I named Oba, and he thinks he's a king.
He's a Virgo madman. Y'all, Oba, Pharaoh, y'all on here. I need y'all to come and get him and take him.
Good to see you, Jessica.
I'll give you mine. What's up, Jess?
Yeah, hey, Oba, I miss y'all so much. I love y'all.
So good to see you, Jessica.
Stuck here in Detroit. I'm supposed to be in Jamaica on the ocean.
A lot of us would love that right now.
Hey, yo, wait.
In our minds.
Oh, what's up? Who you got there? Oh, who you got there? Oh,
I'm bringing my brother out, but let's just do it out.
Oh, but I thought, did you say that you wanted me to take you to the hole again? Dang, Oba, you ain't trying to take it to the hole. Dang.
You keep changing the story. Y'all need to stop changing the story. Do your poem, Jess. We're gonna speak basketball. Do your poem.
Okay.
You trying to say he can't check you? He can't check you?
No, Oba can't
I'm gonna keep
me.
it up. Oh,
listen, I'm gonna take my hat off. You know Oba can't check me.
Oh man,
Oba thinks basketball is football.
Oh,
he got his sports following the hell out of me. It's okay. So this is self-determination since it's Kujichagalia, you know what I'm saying? I love my Kwanzaas. I don't, I'm not a big Christmassy person, but Kwanzaa, I love celebrating Kwanzaa. And so in the, celebrating the idea of self-determination, this poem is called Mixed. And also I want to shout out the sisters that read before me. They were so fierce and amazing. So thank you to both of them. Find the other sister on Instagram. If y'all can put your Instagram handles, that would be awesome, so I can find y'all and follow and support. But I love you, Dune, so much. I really just came on just because I wanted to see you and see your sons and say hello to them.
Listen, I love you too, Jessica. You always have a place in my heart. Always, honey. You know that.
Thank you. I know. I do know. So it's called Mix. It's self-explanatory.
All right.
I pray on my great-grandfather's feathers, the ones you don't respect, that you never dare call me mixed. When I have been a nigga anytime you felt like it. I'm from an army of glowing yellow black princesses, some of us indigenous. We know even if the full-blooded family don't claim us, we are one caste system away from spiritual death. I'm mixed. I'm mixed with Moors and anybody from Alabama. I'm mixed with Cool Miles and sometimes cigars. British tea and Southern comfort, apartheid and Jim Crow. My shoe shine black, no shield, no mask, nothing removable. I've always taken my blackness to dinner, worn it in the shower, shared it with my lovers, never asked permission to be who I am or change my voice to fit the description, land the job, not scare away the boys. Body still recovering from the thunderous pull of a Jamaican crowd hauling me down into their sea of calabash eyes. They tell me they feel my spirit in their Treasure Beach chests. I know you didn't fear it. I know you didn't hear it. I can barely see y'all. My eyes so tired from this damn.
Go take your time, baby.
I know you didn't hear it. Your seashell speaker remains broken, or maybe you just pretend not to hear my levee lips water when it's rising. In winter, black girls are bright summer supermoons, waiting for you to notice their glow twice as beautiful inside infinity. A quiver of cold breath pushes out our bodies. It's winter in America again. The subtle sound of survival. A wolf howls at the indifferent morning. We are always mourning in black. We didn't choose this pain, these colors. We swallow our ivory keys, our sharps and flats, an inharmonic black scream mixed the way Panchai Sankofa Wilkerson held a key under his tongue and spit it out before they executed him. We know freedom is just one fuck you away from being this poem. We didn't choose to scrape samples of our organs back together. So what was left of America inside a matted flag, woven beneath the delicate seams of our children born into this madness, our bloodline threads unbeveled against each blue stitch. I've worn these scars across my face my entire life. And when you ask me how I got them, I said an angel touched me. I earned the right to my own damn mythology. What else do we have left? Our bodies reduced to all that matters. Our bodies reduced to all that matters inside fragile feminism courses. There is zero removal of this Nina Simone Black. My British-born Canadian-raised mother never asked me to, so why you? She raised a black girl who loved to read Alice Walker and Hansberry, put Alice Walker and Hansberry in my hands. I'm mixed with Buffalo and Ego, Hampton and Hooks, tear gas and Standing Rock, frontline women and crooks, mixed with Holocaust and genocide, horses and low rides. I survived. This poem is my proof of life. Your paperwork never worked. I never understand why you worry when a drop of blood swims back to shore. More babies black as me.
Woo! Yeah,
damn girl.
Still got to Jessica.
Mama has
See the
spoken.
damn thing. I can't even see the damn thing.
Yo, that was wonderful, man.
Your pen is still hot, honey. You ain't never stopped. You still got it. God bless you.
Still got it. Ain't going nowhere.
You got it, baby. You still got it. Love it.
Yes, ma'am. That was hot. That was hot.
Me and Ngoma got a gig together. When is our gig in Ngoma?
January the 17th.
All right.
7 o'clock from Yale.
So you're gonna be dropping bombs for sure. I know that.
Oh yeah.
I just want to say real quick, what I loved about that Queen was that it felt so honest. It just rolled off your tongue like it was very honest. I love it.
Always does.
Thank you. I could barely see it. Thank you.
No, she's walking around with an Excalibur for a tongue. I mean, she cut you up. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
I was about to say, like, when I hear a poem like that, I'm just grateful that somebody didn't get cut, but instead she found words.
Write poems so we don't have to kill people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's how we stop people. That's how we keep it, peaceful.
I like how she dealt with the mix concept, because when you look at people that are so-called, they're biracial, when you look at the the whoever, the Halle Berrys, the Blake Griffins, the all these people that are biracial, the Obamas, we know what's dominant, but the other side of that is where your mind is, because black is a state of mind too, and
Thank you,
how
Carol. I've been black my whole black ass life in Detroit. But people will try to question you. That's
your mom plays a big part in that.
But that's why I came to, Kamala. People were trying to come at Kamala about that bullshit. Like, that's divide and conquer. I'm not playing games.
Right. And the thing about it, and I know Pharaoh remembers this as well as you, Jess. In the beginning, this the white boys in power said that if you have just 1/8 black blood in your system, you're black.
You already know.
And then as time went on, they realized that everybody got an 1/8 black blood.
Exactly.
So everybody got
like, wait a minute. Retract that statement. Retract.
Yeah, see, no, that's, and the thing about it is that for those folks that don't understand, you see, black is the basis and it's the source from which everything comes. So if you're not black, then your ass is just left the hell out. I mean, your complexion ain't got a damn thing to do with your blackness. And posted and twisted and they get it all confused, and it ain't that confusing, because the whitest people on the planet happen to be albino, and they black. I mean, so all right, so let's move on. BCR, you ready?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Baba?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, just like to say Abarigani, everybody.
Kujichagalia.
Yes, yes. And I definitely want to say Reside in Paradise to Ecstasy from Houdini.
Right. One love.
Yes, sir.
What happened with Houdini?
He passed away.
When?
Passed away.
When?
3 days ago. 3 days ago.
Tuesday? Yeah.
I believe it was Thursday.
Was he sick? Was he sick?
We don't know. Heart failure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Houdini. Yeah. Wow. Man.
Ecstasy. His name was Ecstasy.
Ecstasy. The brother with the hat.
Fletcher.
With the Zorro hat.
The Zorro hat, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Awesome voice. He was the one with the voice. His voice was distinctive.
Right.
That's right.
Well, the exit door is wide open.
So I'm gonna do this piece. I'm not gonna stay too long. I got a Kwanzaa virtual ceremony to check out later on.
Okay.
And, this poem, some may not be familiar with certain things I'm gonna say. It's called The Odyssey of Black Boston, because sometimes I feel as a Boston poet, I don't get that much love as much as I think, but maybe I'm wrong.
Brother, you're up south. That's all. They just call it the north, but it's up south.
Yes, sir. So here I go. This town, the Michael Jackson of Massachusetts, the Michael Jordan of New England, but like the Kim Kardashian of America, folks outside know who we are, but they don't really respect us. The grind and determination chiseled on the map, engraven recognition, we be no white vicinity, known for clam chowder and baked beans, duck tours and freedom trails, Caucasians dressed in colonial gear, Irish pubs open for St. Patty, Sox fans singing Sweet Caroline in the infamous so-called accent with the pack and habba and care. They forgot about us, the darker side of the bean, like the taste of bean pies, Mattapan Madness, where Port-au-Prince has a child and its parade in May. Louverture Spirit, Mushroom in Blue Hill Avenue. 3 months later is Juve. Then the carnival takeover. Buses were Bruins pigmentation, Wiz Khalifa echoing the colors, while Lakem and US takeout, close to Grove Hall Mecca, roam from Four Corners or Upton's Corner, Strand Theater generates superstars, an orchard of 5 bad apples, of course bad meaning good, cooling it now for Candy Girls, with the real right stuff, on the radio, disco queen / bad girl, working hard for the money. We almighty bad boys, we wise guys and made men, Black United leaders living directly on grooving sounds, gotta have it? So seriously, walk this way. Yes. MLK at Mass Ave and BU, El Haj Malik El Shabazz, neighbor of Dale Street with half-sister, Chuck T, a public enemy to the haters, bold, bald, and bright, a king that was almost a mayor, Queen Mother Elma, trailblazer with the iron fist of the arts, Nubian Square, transformation from slave master Dudley, a notion operated by a bald Kalak fam, culturally enhanced merchandise, Roxbury the compound, second home to Farrakhan, rich in history, memories of high-rise trains, escalators, elevating passengers, green book full of black biz. Yes, chocolate do exist in the city of Patriots and Celtics, and marathons repeating that slogan, Boston strong. Our people sustain the hypocrisy. The Bay State, first colony to legalize slavery, American flagpole assault in 76 to segregation of public schools and its MECO program, the widespread arresting of brothers, thanks to Charlie Stewart, unnecessary police shootings, especially when one's unarmed, bigoted politicians, po-po commissioners and DAs, Southie rednecks with shamrocks and the obvious gentrification, atrocities attempting to outweigh our achievements, our legacy, our presence. Yes, there's an abundance of melanin residing in the planet known as Boston. And I, born and raised here, Dorchester bred, repping our perspective to the fullest. Leaders, scholars, activists, entrepreneurs, athletes, professionals, griots, farmers, teachers, nutritionists, visual artists, dancers, musicians, lyricists, vocalists, authors, poets. Yes, poets.
Yay, Massachusetts.
There's only one thing that you missed that I was waiting for, and that was Christmas addicts.
Whoa, that's right.
Because you covered the waterfront, and a lot of folks don't know that this brother with a big mouth was the one that set off the American Revolution, because he jumped up in the red coat's face and said something sassy, and they didn't like it, and they shot him dead. So he sets the whole thing off, and that all happened in Boston. Boston it was very interesting that El-Haj Malik Shabazz spent some time in Boston. It seems that everybody has to spend some time in Boston for some reason or another. It's interesting, very interesting. That's one of the other change-making spaces in America.
Yo, speaking of Boston, Casey Jones just passed away, right?
I know.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize that Casey also went to the same school that I believe Bill Russell had gone to, which University of San Francisco, I think. When Bill Russell was drafted by the Celtics, a lot of folks don't realize that when he came into Boston, the people weren't so welcoming, and he went to practice, and when he had bought a house in Reading, Massachusetts, which is outside of Boston, I understand, and he came home, and some people had broken into his house, and they shitted on his bed, and they pissed on his curtains, and they wrote on the walls in his house, "Nigga, go home." And yeah, so and he was a first round draft choice for the Celtics. So they had a press conference, and at the press conference, the reporter says, "Well, how do you like your welcome here in Boston?" He says, "I don't play for Boston. I play for the Celtics." So Bill Russell took a low key position, but he made it clear, you can't hurt me as a black man. I'm not accepting the pain that you're offering. And that's how he dealt with it. And if you know, when Ali said he wasn't going to the war, Bill Russell was standing there right behind him. He was always there to champion a cause. And we talk about the greatness of Michael Jordan, but nobody will ever outdo what Bill Russell did. He played 13 years in the NBA, and Casey Jones was his point guard for like 8 of them years, and they won 11 championships. That's crazy. 13 years you were in the NBA, and out of those 13 years, 11 of those years, you ended up taking the trophy home because you were champion.
Hey, Pops, to add on to this, out of 13 championships, he got 11 rings, 11 he got 11 championships.
Right.
Now, out of the 11 championships, 3 of them, check this out, 3 of them, he was the coach.
Right, exactly. That's deep.
He was the player coach. They don't do that no more.
And a lot of folks couldn't understand how Red Auerbach could do that, but Red Auerbach said, "I'm not from Boston. I'm from Brooklyn."
Right. Yep. And
Real
Jones,
quick.
I think he was the first black coach to win an NBA championship.
He
Actually,
was.
Keep talking Pharaoh and Pop.
He
But
really
real quick,
was.
I'm gonna show them.
Al Adams was the second one. All right, Ayana, are you there?
Wait, hold up, Pop. Just real quick. I just wanted Juanita to have a moment for the
We have our commercial break, guys, and you know what that means.
No, Juanita, put your camera on. They can't see your face. I got the thing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to interrupt commercial. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So this is our commercial break, guys. You know what that means. Get your wallets out. Get all your money out. It's the end of the year. You don't need that money. Send donations via PayPal to poetabiodun@yahoo.com. And if you don't have PayPal and you have Cash App, you can send it to $YLove228 for Cash App. I promise I'll send him the money, right, Uncle Doom?
Yeah.
And don't forget our website for your gear And other information on The Last Poets, www.thelastpoets.com. We have many of you online today. Abiodun is putting together a poetry anthology for those that participate in our open house. If you would like to contribute to the anthology, the poem that you shared today or on other days, I will put my email in the chat so that you can send it. Please, the subject line should say anthology because I get a lot of emails. So please, the subject line will be anthology. Thank you.
Thank you, baby. Thank
you.
I appreciate your diligence and your vigilance about this whole thing. It works. Ayana, are you ready?
Hi, peace, I'm here. Hi, family. Thank you. Happy holidays, Habarigani.
Kujichagalia.
Right, that's right. That's my favorite principle.
Kujichagalia.
Is that your why? That's your. You said that's your favorite principle.
Yeah, well, it's my favorite to say. Imani is my favorite because I believe we can't be free without faith. But Kujichagalia is my favorite to say.
Well, you know what? You can't have Imani without Kujichagalia.
That's true. Absolutely.
Because I think, according to the Christians, they said faith without work is what?
It's dead. It's dead. That's right.
There you go. That's right.
That's right. If I'm allowed, I have two short pieces, and they are both connected to my experience of traveling to the continent. I've been to Africa 4 times, and I wrote these pieces while abroad. This one I wrote when I was in Kenya.
Okay.
And I'm starting it. It's entitled "Die as Poor," but DIE.
I got you.
There we go. And I'm starting it with a song. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long way from home, a long way from home. Traces of the trade apparent in the tracks we take, tarnished with tears that seep into the solid rocky ground. It's all around. The chains of colonialism. It's as if we don't even recognize them, but still they hang like loose nooses around our frame. I'm not embraced like a sister because I was sold and now I'm treated like a stranger with features like theirs. But the traces of the trade still tear through us all, still kill us like cattle. It's insanity how we're able to handle this hatred, almost become consumed by it, to the point where family becomes unrecognizable. We aren't able to communicate with one another because of various split tongues. Like serpents, we've spent centuries creating labels, built walls around us with the intention of dividing and conquering. It's the ultimate hustle that we've been indoctrinated into believing. Colored, Negro, nigga, negra, black motherfucker, Afro-American, Afro-Latina, African, Jamaican, Bajan, Haitian, Cuban, Dominican. Who are we again? We used to be fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, sisters, brothers, but all that shit got flipped when them chains and ships took sail. We lost our family when we went up for sale. How can you look at me and not see you too? How can you hate me with eyes, skin, hair, lips, and hips like you? How can we live richly if you can't embrace me in the family? Where's home for a child without a name? What family can I claim? What land can I return to? Am I destined to die as poor without roots to own? Or will Mother Africa finally call her lost children back home?
Ooh,
thank you.
Ayana.
Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. A necessary piece. Beautiful, beautiful. Very, very important. That's beautiful, baby. That's excellent. Well put together. Thank you so much. Kaim, what you got to say, baby?
That was that one. That was that one.
Wasn't it?
I like to talk, and if I'm not talking, that means damn.
Thank you. Thank you. That was my experience of being called an American. When I went to Kenya, they saw me as an American and not as one of theirs. And it was kind of jarring. We are American. We came from America, but they didn't see me as coming home. They saw me as a foreigner and a visitor. And that was what I wrote one day while I was on a safari ride.
Well, I've had that experience, and unfortunately, a number of us have. When I first went to Mali, when we got to the airport, I asked the cab driver to take me to River Niger, because I had heard about the River Niger. I knew about the River Niger because there was a brother here in the States who had done a play called the River Niger. And so I was just overjoyed the fact that I was in Mali, one of the great empires, and before I go to the hotel, I got to see the River Niger. So I get in the cab and I told the guy, I said, listen, brother, before you drop us off at the hotel, let's stop by the River Niger. And the brother looks in the rearview mirror and he says, you believe everything the white man say? I said, what are you talking about, man? He said, there's no River Niger here, brother. I said, there's no River Niger. I said, according to the map. He said, I didn't make the map, man. He says, map was not made by African people. There's no River Niger here, brother. I said, well, what? I said, well, I didn't notice, man. He said, I know you believe everything the white man say. He call it River Niger. You call it River Niger. No River Niger here, brother. I said, well, brother, what do y'all call it? Name of river is Joliba. I said, Joliba. He said, yes, my brother. He says, now you know the name of the river. And so I said, wow. I said, well, can you stop me off at Joliba so I can see it? So he stopped me at Joliba. And I have my brother, I have a younger brother, his name is Cornell. And I had borrowed his Nikon camera. So I'm ready to take some major flicks because I'm in Africa, man. I'm in West Africa. And I got out the car and I looked over the bridge because we're on a bridge and I'm looking into the water. All the women were bathing. And when you bathe, you ain't got no clothes on. They were naked. I mean, it was like a feast. I said, oh my God. I'm looking at titties and ass and everything. It's crazy. And broad daylight. And this just goes along with what the sister just did with her piece. And so I take that camera that I got. I'm getting ready to take some major flicks to show all my friends. And an elder sister came by when I was getting ready to take a picture, and she had a cane, and she hit me across my wrist with the cane. And she said, you act like tourists. She said, people come and take a picture of you when you're in the shower. And man, you know what? I put that camera away. I didn't use that camera the entire time I was on the trip, because she was absolutely correct. I was acting like a tourist. And if you act like a tourist, they're going to treat you like that. And I came there to connect. You get treated like one. I came there to connect with my brothers and sisters, but I had a camera. I was enthralled by the sisters bathing in broad daylight. I mean, all of that stuff. Didn't have the name of the river right. None of that. We have to go with a different headset altogether. But that piece that you did reminded me of the fact that some of us don't know how to be in Africa when we are there, because there is a welcome, but you have to bring a part of that welcome with you.
Absolutely. Powerful story. Thank you.
Hey, sister, I just want to say about that poem. I want to say one thing. That was
Thank you.
You are so corny.
Thank you for the props. So corny. Do I have time to do the second one? Do I have time to do the second one? It's a contrast to the first poem, written in Africa, and it's untitled, so it's a free write.
Good.
It isn't always hot in Africa. On the contrary, it's cold when the sun hides behind red mountains and white clouds. The chill wraps its arms around you like an ancestral embrace, a kiss from a spirit, a cool palm on your warmed face. No, it isn't always hot in Africa. Sometimes the sky parts to offer baptisms at half price. Downpour of precipitation as if God cries at your presence in the place he took most pride in developing. Sometimes this climate engulfs you like the familiarity of home, like family with an awaiting hug. You're covered in its essence, surrounded by its love. It isn't always hot in Africa. When the animals arise to greet the day, and the birds announce your arrival as if to say, welcome back. And trees grow towards the heaven in lush green splendor, and dust bellows around you like silent prayers. Sometimes it's cold on the continent to remind us that anything's possible, even the unexplainable.
Beautiful.
Thank
The
you.
imagery
Thank you.
is beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Ayana. Thank you.
Yes.
We're going to keep it moving.
Beautiful.
And I know John Study was the next person. So let's hear from John Study. You there, brother?
Okay, he stepped away for a second.
Right here, King.
Oh,
right
he's
here.
there.
Okay. Come on, man.
Is he there?
Yeah, he's here.
I'm right
Okay.
here. You hear me?
All right, let's hear from you, baby.
I hear.
Here you
One,
go.
two. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. You got your
How you
king gear
doing?
today.
Yeah, man. King
I love
Poet
it.
today, man, because this is the last time we're gonna rock for 2020. This is it.
Oh, and you know, my son told me, and my son Pharaoh was online with us. And when 2020 arrived, he said, "Pops, you know what 2020 means, right?" And he said, "That's clear vision, man." He says everything will be revealed in 2020. He never lied. And Pharaoh was always telling me, numbers don't lie, Pops. And that's the truth. 2020 has been a revelation like no other year before.
We just had, like you said, the brother from Houdini died. And I kind of want to dedicate this piece to him. And of course, as always, I want to dedicate this piece to all the poets that's there, that's rocking with me today. I need 3 minutes and 14 seconds of your time. That's it.
Oh, you have time to calm down like that?
That's 3 minutes and 14 seconds.
You got it. We're counting. The clock is running.
Guys, let me read myself. The name of this poem is I Am Hip Hop. All right?
All right. Okay.
It's like this. I am the beat. I am the hi-hat. I am the snare. I am the first time a record was scratched live on air. I am the Kangol, I am the cardboard. I am the Pumas with fat laces. I am the gazelle frames that sat on brown and black faces. I am the graffiti that was written on trains and on walls. I am the after party that turned into brawls. I am the breakbeats. I am the gold chains. I am the living manifestation of Soul Train. I am the human beatbox, the felines, the Reeboks, the wave and the pop lock, the little brother that cock blocks. I am the shearling coat. I am the leather goose. I am the white gloves top rockers put on before they bust the move. I am the permanent creases that were stitched in your pants. I am the knee spin, the back spin, the b-boy stance. I am the worm, the moonwalk, the head spin, the windmill. When a fight was about to break out, I was the one in the middle telling my friends, chill, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green. I am Slick Rick's delivery in Hey Young World. I am the raw energy of Roxanne Shante is a young girl. I am the beat from Rakim's Paid in Full. I am the stare in Eric B's eyes, so save the bull. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I am the riggedy, riggedy, diggity, diggity, two young boys with some dreads. I am the I am the I am the yes, yes, y'all, shine like a disco ball. I am the glass flying everywhere, people dying in the streets, others just don't care. I am the yeah, boy. I am Lauryn Hill singing praises to her baby. I am Lil Wayne before he was seen kissing baby. I am the shock value that was seen by Slim Shady. I am the refugee camp that represented Haiti. Sapase, Abule. I am the sick. I am social media's outrage against R. Kelly. I am the beeper on the waist before they came out with the celly. me. I'm Mike Brown's wife, not accepting the officer's apology. I'm Big Daddy Kane. I'm KRS-One with my philosophy. I'm the West Coast. I'm down south. I'm New York City. I'm take that. I'm P. Diddy. I'm the black shiny suit that was worn by Missy. I'm the black woman in the street screaming, I dare you to hit me. I am hip hop. 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Sing.
You know what? You know, you always cover the whole landscape. You do it very well. I love it. You're amazing.
Awesome.
The one thing I will say about you, John, you are thorough. You're very thorough. You covered that, baby. You did a great job. A great job.
Good job.
I love the performance.
I am
Loved it.
hip hop. And anything that we create.
Yes. Represented, brother. An old. Yes, so befitting, man. So befitting. Dope.
Yes. Yeah, and the thing about it, and you're absolutely correct, because anything we create, we are it. There's no doubt about it. You can only be defined by what you have done. And when you create something, that's a definition of who you are. There's no question about that. So yes, brother, you covered the waterfront. Is Miss Mo Clarity there?
Wait, Bob, one second. I'm sorry, Mo. Do you have one small second right before you go? Wanted to have somebody that had to go, self-suffice, brother self-suffice, have him spit real quick before he headed out. And then you could share this, have the stage all to yourself, Miss Mo. If that's all cool with you. It's before or after you. You good? Ladies' choice.
Self-suffice. Let's hear from my man that put together the hip hop conference in Hartford, Connecticut, at Trinity College.
Yes, sir. Love you. Habari
How's those kids? How's your family, man?
Whew. I'm about to trade my son for Jessica's son.
Those guys are tough. By now, I know your son and Jessica's son could probably recreate the world in a few minutes.
Right.
You have empowered those boys above and beyond, man.
Right.
I know. Jessica's son tried to take at the hip hop conference. When I'm on stage to do the pledge, remember Jessica's son was walking behind me. I turned around and looked. I say, "Excuse me, what you getting ready to do?" He said, "I'm gonna do the pledge." I said, "Okay," and we did it together.
Right.
We're creating kids who are born with a sense of empowerment, and that's important.
Right.
That's important. Go ahead, baby. Let's share.
That's right, and I'm glad you put it that way. You're making me more grateful. All right, so I'm putting out a song each day for the Nguzo Saba, right? And I took a note from you being a professor, a poet, and all kinds of things that people don't know it. And I did a little bit of singing now. So hopefully if you hear the part on my social media, it'll be mixed a little bit better. So pardon me, I don't usually sing. So this is for the second day of Kwanzaa.
Okay.
They liking us on Kwanzaa. Highlighting Nguzo Saba, we lighting the mushroom right into the kinara on top of the makeka. Habari Gani saying what? Habari Gani say, what's the principle today? The second day of Kwanzaa, Kujichagalia. Speak up for yourself, say who you want to be. Your creator created you in the image to keep on creating with creative vision. Beginning with you, not what they define. It's a whole different view with a new state of mind. I could draw what they drew with the same design. If I make up my mind to, I make it mine. This is my vocalization. Till I'm definite, let them get patient. They could jet if they get tired of waiting. Forget what they saying, because I got my own inspiration in here. I got my own inspiration, and you got your own inspiration, man. Forget what they saying. The secret to wealth is self-determination. They liking us on Kwanzaa. We liking the mushroom. That's right in the kinara. That rep and Nguzo Saba on top of the makeka. Habari Gani saying what? Habari Gani say, what's the principle today? Habari Gani.
Kujichagalia.
Yo, that was dope.
Nice.
That was
I
dope.
like
I
that.
love you. If I
Yo,
never
I
did my
one
love
time,
podcast,
it.
baby.
I
Your
would
kids
love to
gotta
sit
know that.
here
The
with
kids
you.
gotta know that.
You need to teach that to children. I loved it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Kids got to know that. That's something that they should have. That like they know the ABCs. That's important.
But see,
Very.
with you, with Pharaoh and Abiodun, like y'all showing me this already. I need to just catch up to you because that's what y'all do anyway. You got
Kaim, you are in the front lines as well. Stop it. We appreciate you because you're always working. You never stop. You have never put your armor, your weapons down. You're constantly on the front lines. When I mentioned earlier about the Vanguard, brother, trust me, you're an officer of that Vanguard, really, and you have been, and you've stayed true. You haven't switched horses in midstream. You've been riding the same horse, and I can feel the gallop, brother. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's an
man.
honor.
Just keep on. Just continue
It's
to
an
be who
honor.
you've been.
I'm catching up.
I want to thank you for being here and doing your thing. Thank you. And give my love to that beautiful family of yours. All right. Who's next?
Abiodun said love.
It's gonna be Miss Mo Clarity
Miss Mo
next.
Clarity, okay.
Bless. Thank you, Kaim, for spitting.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
We might have to borrow that. We might have to borrow that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be in an anthology, right?
No
so?
doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you the email. I'll send it to you the email.
Thank
Definitely.
Yeah, y'all send that. I'm gonna be hounding y'all in the chat while we get the next couple people because I really wanted to. I'm a spotlight myself. I really want to drive it home, y'all. We keep each other going. We keep each other moving forward. The fact that my father, my brothers, and everybody, and my cousin, and that we were able to get this going just means that we have enough responsibility, enough creativity to keep this forum of creativity wherever we are. We are. Y'all don't know how much that means for us. So then we're giving this to the people in a form of a book, at the least. At the least just some of the pieces that we've given. So the fact that they could feel the same thing that we're feeling, even if it's just reading it in the words, because y'all have been keeping up my pen. And I know my dad, he's amazing. He writes every single day. He laughing, but he really does. So this is what's fueling the fire, y'all. And this is gonna fuel your own fire. So don't waste it. Don't waste yourself. So yeah, now go ahead, Miss Mo Clarity. Go ahead and do your thug thizzle.
Mo Clarity. I love that name.
Yeah, that's a whole.
She's a friend of Ralph McDaniel's, guys. So Ralph referred her to us to our poetry session. I got with Ralph this morning, and he was like, my good friend Mo. So thank you for coming.
I love your earrings.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Did you make those? Did you make those, Mo?
I actually know a fellow sister that I support, an artist based in Brooklyn. She sent me these and some other pieces too.
I love it.
Thank you. I wanted to just say, first of all, peace and light to all of you. When Ralph hit me earlier, I'm like, okay, I literally just got back off the road, got back home. This is like just more blessings on top of blessings. This made my holiday this season really just blessed me. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm very humbled and blessed. I have been rocking with many of you all from following your work. First, I want to definitely salute and shout out to Abiodun. First of all, I remember, I just want to bring up when I saw you with Uncle Ralph earlier this summer. I followed that whole live and I was so impressed. First of all, your son just said how you write every day. So that already has me like, oh, I'm feeling like, okay, I need to step it up as an educator. That made me feel really bad. Then I thought back to how you spit that piece, and I believe you said it was your first one that you memorized, and that went back to you were in high school, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, like, okay. Yeah. So I was there. I was watching all of that. And I also want to shout out and definitely say hello, first of all, to Nagoma. I was just recently saw you and you were on Brother Will's live. That was me chatting and supporting in the chat and keeping him on track with you there. So shout out to Ngoma and Jessica. That I could be here all day, so I'm gonna leave that alone. A mutual friend, a mutual friend she has with me is the brother. I absolutely love him. The comic Dean Edwards I swear, if it's something going on with Jess that I missed, he will inbox me. He hits me all the time. He's like, "You got to go support this. This is something else she has out. If you haven't heard it, go get this. I need you to go buy this next. I need you to listen to this." As someone who grew up in New York City, I'm telling you, when you all brought that up about her historic, I always like to tell people her historic, groundbreaking Apollo wins. That as a little girl growing up, seeing that at 1 a.m, as we remember, as it came on in New York back then, my mother and I were just glued like every week, like, oh my God. I'm like, that's somebody doing something, different. She does what I sit here and sneak and do in these little notebooks and tuck it, in my drawer because I don't know anywhere to share it with. So I just want to say shout out to her for that because she most definitely inspired me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah. She's a Venus and
as
Serena.
you all did. Oh my gosh. And I do keep up with her. So I definitely see some of what you all were saying about her son. I remember when she's put him on several times and showcased some of King's stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. But what do we expect? Look at his mom.
Absolutely.
Look at his mother in the village.
Right. Well, let's hear from you now, babe.
All righty. So Uncle Ralph told me to try to share two pieces that he's kind of familiar with, told me to share them with you. So the first one I'm gonna do is the Queen. Where can you find the Queen? Well, the Queen can be seen in the beauty of nature. The Queen can be felt when the wind blows. The Queen can be observed performing the gift of life. The Queen can be mighty among few or stand out among the crowd. The Queen can be down or simply down the block around the way. The Queen moves swiftly yet with careful steps while changing her environment. The Queen reigns within the community while campaigning our causes around the world, for it is her empire. The Queen nurtures the mind of her king and cultivates the soul of her young. Made of the ashes and dust of the earth, yet more valuable than worth, she be that hard rock, strong stone, can't be broken because she holds her own. Like diamonds and rubies, the Queen is a jewel. Though many seek to refine her, others try to define her. Still, our society denies her. Instead, we settle for cheap imitation man-made lab creations of a gem, when all the while she been dwelling among them. The Queen is not boastful, but she's proud. She's proud of a legacy that tells of her greatness, manifested through the heavens, ascended through the womb, knows all, cause she been here before. Yet with each journey, she leaves behind something new and something wonderful. So while the world continued to sleep, she made some 7,000s and thousands upon warriors that continue on her name. It's an uneven number, so it's odd to say that from one, many remain. But when you question her existence, rest assured that she is real. Let the queens of the house be with you. But if y'all blink too fast, y'all just missed them.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love that line, the uneven number line. That was dope. I love that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So many jewels in that. That was awesome. No wonder Ralph said, "Yo, you better go over there." That was awesome. Yeah.
I have so much love. Oh my God, Ralph is just that's just a blessing that keeps on blessing. That's all I'm gonna say. That's a very humble spirit and individual, and I'm so he's definitely a noted, and I still feel underrated. Just a pillar in our culture, first of all, and just legendary person, totally outside of the music field. So much that he does. Yeah, I've even came on a couple of times with some things he does over at Queens Public Library. Just an awesome soul. Truly is.
Well, you got a second piece. You
Yes,
said, right?
I do. This one I think we all could appreciate. I'm gonna leave this one appropriately for all of us here in the room.
Okay.
And it's entitled "Why They Rhyme." And as we all spoke on earlier with the wordplay and all that stuff, it was why they rhyme with a D, not a TH.
Okay.
Why they rhyme? Sometimes I rhyme when I write. Sometimes I want my words to sound alike. Sometimes I become unaware of the way that I listen and the way that I stare. It's not to compare, but we creating to share. Because this be our art, this be our expression, this be my life and freedom from oppression. Oh, or is it opinion? Because it seems as though everybody has one of them every now and again. But for me, nah, I just get in where I fit in, wrap my sounds like a turban and make these vowels transcend the ghetto and urban. Go beyond the veil and remove the curtain. Verbally change the span to clarity, mentally change your hope into reality. I might snatch hot scraps of grammar because my English be lit, choking, dying, trying to swallow all of it. I might process the flavor and digest the truth. I might spit it on paper or maybe the booth. Masters of lyrical wordplay inspired by the silent pauses and what those say. I'm drawn to commas and spices and periods. I'm drawn to exclamation and parentheses for the emphasis on the serious. I'm drawn to reach peace instead of confusion. I'm drawn to questions before their conclusions. I am artistic motivation, linguistic fascination, dwelling among brothers and sisters, bringing forth quality because we're not defining that long or the short, but in our quantity. It be our heritage, our oral tradition, from Big Mama and her humming in the kitchen with her tater salad and collard greens, that hot water cornbread, catfish, fried chicken, and black eyed peas, the double XL, the source, the vibe, that very substance keeping you alive. It's assurance to us poets, confidence to know it. We be them soul fighters, soul writers on soul ciphers, and fire when they spark, inspired to lead a mark or stain, release these flows like rain, release these woes like pain, and feeling bold in our space and time, feeling bold in our space to shine, feeling bold in our space to define the reason why they, we, I rhyme.
Baby, you know what? That poem defines your name better than anything. Mo Clarity.
Wow.
I'm serious.
Wow.
That
I'm
that
so
that
honored.
is that is a major definition of who you are.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's a special poem, honey. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Absolutely.
Hey, I'm gonna go on the limb and say, Mo Clarity, you should record that. Get a track for that piece you just did. That has to be, yeah, you have to marry that with some music and put it out there. You got
because
to.
see
We
what
need
you're
to hear
saying.
that.
Yeah, we need to hear that. That's medicine. That's actually medicine. That's the stuff that can help get a lot of folks that are off track on track. I mean, because you clearly made it clear what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's woo. Thank you, honey. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
And your flow is so unassuming, right? Her flow is it's looking like she looking for the words or something, but she just spit it so easy, like she talking.
It comes out with ease. I was gonna say it felt like
dope.
with the like what Farrell talking about with the cadence. You got a cadence that's like you ever heard Corinne Bailey Ray's voice? It's a singer.
Oh my God, I love them.
So
that's
you
my
have
Sunday
that cadence.
feel good music.
Exactly, feel good. You got a feel good tone, so that
Right.
eases into the listener, just like oh damn.
Yeah, you make it very palatable and very digestible. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I love the way you do what you do and how you do what you do. I mean, you've got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that last piece, that's a healer. That's a super healer. I'm serious. Because it will give you got so right now, especially where a lot of folks aren't able to come to grips with this quarantining and all this wearing the mask. A lot of folks are lost and getting stressed out on how they can conduct themselves. That piece will help unstress some people. It will give them some something to really think about for them to put some direction in their lives, because we need that. We need, and that's what I said earlier about the poets being the vanguard of this change. We can help put some order to this, because there are a lot of folks who are seeking that, and they're looking to other people to give them that. When the fact is that the only real order that's going to make a difference is the order that you instill in yourself. You have to be the disciplinarian to like put yourself in order, but we still need some support, and we need poets like you to say what we can do in the meantime.
Yeah.
I'm honored, humble. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And you just continue to live up to your name. That's all you got to do.
That's right.
Mo Clarity.
Someone gave I was named that, and when you all were talking earlier about the names, that just got me because I was actually torn with another piece. It's a bit longer, so sometimes I shy away from doing it. And I was literally just talking to Ralph about that. I said I kind of like doing that because I have a line in there where I talk about ethnic names, but it's a whole imagery that goes with it because of let's just say I relate to what you all were saying. My birth given name for my mother is actually Shanitra Takia. So I got what you all were speaking earlier. That was just hitting me like, ooh,
that's what's up. Your mom was doing it. She was doing it. Shanitra Takia, dope. That's what's up.
Abiodun?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bounce, but I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for allowing me to, share my poems. First time I started, I want to thank Juanita for inviting me here, because I always wanted to come through New York, to come to the open house, but never got that chance. So I just want to...
Brother, it ain't over yet. This thing is gonna die down.
He's got to go. He's got to go, Pop.
I know you got to go now, but I'm saying that don't dismiss New York yet.
No.
Oh, never that.
Without a doubt, no. I'm coming. I'm gonna definitely pay a visit real soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to thank each and every one of y'all.
Keep changing Boston.
Thank you.
That's right. That's
I
right.
dug
Keep
that
changing
piece.
Boston, baby.
But y'all have
We're gonna come through New York when this opens up again, so we could get some those crab cake, those infamous
some salmon croquettes.
Salmon croquettes. Yeah, you don't understand the story.
I made the same mistake.
More than willing.
I
Yes,
definitely gotta go to Detroit. I need to go to Detroit.
Yes,
shout out to Jessica.
We got to get there too. That's right.
Yes,
that's
but
right.
thank y'all so much.
One up the way.
Thank you, brother, and you just take care of yourself and stay safe and be blessed. All right.
You too. You too. Bless.
All right, now.
Hey, Dune, you gonna have a virtual New Year's party?
Oh.
No, I'm not.
Hey.
I know virtual New Year's Eve.
Good question. Good question.
Where's
virtual
Princess?
New Year's party. That's what's up. Ah.
We'll definitely be social distancing within regulations.
Can we pass the weed on a virtual joint? Can we pass the joint?
That will be a party for the ages, for real. We're passing virtual joints around. Man, they're gonna lock everybody up.
Lock everybody up.
Hey, Mr. Prince, are you there? Happy Prince.
Yeah, I'm here. It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure for you to be with us, brother. I'm so proud of you. And you've been very consistent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and my eyes are heavy. It's 5 minutes before 1 a.m. So.
Oh yeah, right. The time change.
That's
right.
But then
before they shut down, open up our eyes for us with your words.
All right. So this is a poem entitled "Madness."
Okay.
And it's for you and for every other person here, because it takes a special kind of madness to do. I mean, what you do. A special kind of madness to do what we do.
Right.
All right. Papa Abiodun is a madman. Wait. Before your seats become hot stones that hit me in this marketplace of one. I do not speak of the madness that dances a mind down the streets begging refuse dumps food to eat. The madness that races dopamine above thresholds of acetylcholine. I do not speak of the madness that dug early Sunday graves in Ozobolo, dropped emo on Kent Street, threatening censorship on my last tweets. No, I do not speak of the madness that bombed Delhi, the madness that shot Kudirat, the madness that bled Babaige on the bedroom floor. Nor do I speak of the madness that took Lumumba, the madness that took Luda, the madness that took Rodney. Maybe the madness that gave us penicillin, the madness that gave us benzene, the madness that gave Archimedes a solution, the madness that bled Galileo for Possible. But I speak of the madness that breeds the fondness that creates the oneness that smelts voices for the voiceless. Of this madness I speak, screaming at its peak, madness.
Woo. You know, there was a brother, there's a brother named Rap Brown, H. Rap Brown. And somebody said to him one time, said, Rap, you are crazy. And he said, you damn right. I am crazy for my freedom.
Wow.
So when we deal with madness, there were two sides to that madness. The madness that tries to keep us down and out, and the madness of us breaking away from the chains and jumping out of the box and doing what we really feel we need to do. And yes, we will be called crazy because a lot of folks are very safe and they don't want to upset the status quo, so to speak. Our job is to destroy the status quo. And that might be a mad ordeal for some folks to deal with, but that's the work of a poet, especially a revolutionary poet. Thank you, brother, for giving us madness.
Yes, yeah, thank you. And let me quickly drop this before I leave. This is Black. So in the spirit of Kwanzaa, I don't know about it, just learned about it today. But then that's the beauty of, being here, because the cultural mix and all.
Right.
So this is titled Black. I wrote this poem in 2017.
Okay.
Black is beautiful, sparse or bountiful. It carries uniqueness like prized insignia. Take a trip to Genesis. Learn how the universe was hued in black. How the waters were deep pools of blackness. How black is the original color of things. It lines the walls of emptiness, shelters from the anger of hotness. Tent of night, it reveals the glitter in the stars, glow in the moon, the wondrous beauty of galaxies. It shows the eyes their weakness, humbles them in sleep with meekness, never shares harbored stains like forgiveness. Black was the color of man before jeans bleached their tan. The color of crude, always open to improvement. Black is not the color of evil or the snaily progress of a people. No, black is the royalty of Mansa Musa, the beauty of Cleopatra, the freedom of Mandela, the dream of Martin Luther. Black is beautiful, sparse or bountiful. So thank you, and thank you. I sign up for this.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I totally agree. I have a piece out called Understand What Black Is, and we touched on many of the same points that were made in your poem. Thank you very much. All right. We got Azakar. Is Azakar here?
Simone, there she go.
Azakar, how you doing?
Oh man, it has been a semester. Thank God it's over. So I'm kind of in the mode of winding down and trying to refocus and trying to get my voice back.
Okay.
Trying to explain to white teachers the Black stories is really rough.
Oh yeah.
That's your job.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. It is my job.
You're trying to educate the educators?
But I'm trying to learn too, though. Like, I spend my whole money that y'all supposed to teach me about film. I'm not supposed to spend my money teaching you about me. I will do that in my work, yes. But I don't want to spend my money teaching you the whole semester.
I got you.
But so that comes from like the space where I'm gonna read this first poem. It's a short one, and then I'm gonna go back to an oldie but goodie. for Kujichagalia. Okay, so this one is called Where I Come From. When you ask me where I come from, I must speak of broken things, but I must speak of my Kintsugi too. Broken plans, early arrivals, broken promises, forever fighting, broken soups by gentrification dreams, broken hearts, broken starts, and broken and stolen lands, broken and calloused hands. Portmore and Kingston sings of the streets my ancestor breathed, Ireland, Scotland, the Cuba motherland. Stolen, stripped, and rebranded, strong colonizer hand, but where I come from is broken things. Grandmother's heart, grandfather's ears, mother's childhood, and father past. Where I come from is broken things, mother's future, her dreams to live on in me, but not to share of the jealousy. Papa's passion oozes from my pores, birthday present not wasted, yet enjoyed. Blossoming from palm, flourishing through the broken tear-drenched faces, grandma's spirit raging with these bones, fighter is she now and forevermore. Watch out for what is in store, witness my power, impossible to deny her roar. Warrior in pink, warrior in Jamaican jungle prince, impossible to deny my roar, her echo, her legacy, changing the past into beautiful kintsugi, into ashes as a phoenix. I rise. When you ask me where I come from, I must speak of broken things, but God has mended these broken pieces, mended them with Oshun's light, and guided their steps righteous into a masterpiece, a priceless thing to behold.
That was it?
That's the first one, yes.
I'm glad that we unbroke the broken things.
Yes, yes, very much so. So that was the first one that I had to write because I was just annoyed.
Oh yeah, we got that. but we can, a lot of times we get consumed by the broken things, and we begin to pity ourselves because of the circumstances by which we came up in. But we have to find a way to bring those broken things, as you say, mend those broken things.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs, "How Do You Mend a Broken Heart?" You know. Go ahead.
Okay, so
your second piece.
Yes, my second piece is, just lost it. 1 second. All right, I'm gonna do it from my phone. Okay, so this is the oldie but goodie. Some of you know this, but it's how to make asukar.
Okay.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Simone, S to the I to the M-O-N-E, Nicole, N to the I to the double K-O-L-E. I am Simone Nicole, better known as Asukar, but who gives me my color, who refines my sugar, and who gathers me, nurturing every fiber of my being. So when you're ready for me, your lips are eager with wonder, your tongue surprised by my texture, and your throat always wanting more, that your stomach has savored each and every morsel, creating its own sugar cubes. Who gives me my color? My mother through every breath of her pain and allowed me to love print and the letter. My father through every stride in his walk gave me knowledge of God, from which everything and everyone starts. My grandfathers who through their different tossels of the rod gave my father music, my mother strength to interlace their swan song. My grandmothers with each of their wit and grace gave my father sensitivity, my mother patience to lock in place my braids as they swing and make the music my thoughts glide on, to cloud the air, but to impregnate your ears, tantalizing your eardrums and marinating in your minds. So who refines this sugar? My parientes, which each life lesson, each word of encouragement filling the holes in my brain matter, allowing me to use all these areas of intelligence to create Einsteins out of my listeners and Warhols out of my pupils, my amigos who fail to sugarcoat life, using each one of my grains as treatment for every pain and strife, who reinforce my formula when I am missing a chemical, when my heart is broken and living to love becomes stranger, but they're always ready to mend me. Who gathers me, nurturing every fiber of my being in the fields, in the streets, in the replenishing rain. It is you, my readers, my supporters, my family, always hungry for none in the same, every morsel of my syllable sounding different in each of life's seasons. So each turn of the page gives you a new reason to live, to love, to give, to hug yourself, engulfed in the truth and acceptance of the real you. So for this, I say thank you. And this is how you make sugar.
Okay. Sound like an ancestor's tribute to me. That's beautiful. Absolutely. Necessary. And those pieces that show gratitude, that's always adding a plus to your life. Always. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you for having this. I greatly needed it.
Yes. So we moving down. Elijah Starr. Elijah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's hear from you. Our time is
Can you
running
hear me
out.
okay?
Yeah. You got some very crisp video quality, my brother. I just gotta say that. Very crisp.
Thanks, man. Hey, hit me on Instagram or whatever. I'll hip you to some stuff because we're all on this virtual thing, you know, in the middle of this pandemic.
Hey, bet.
Yeah. So Doom, man, it's so good to see you.
It's good to
virtually
see you
at
too.
least. Yeah. I wish I had some cheese grits in a bowl right now with some salmon croquets, but either way, croquets. But I'm gonna do 2 pieces for y'all if that's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. You got it.
All right. First one is entitled "Modern Day" or "In Modern Day."
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second.
In all honesty, like when I tell you them niggas was loyal as fuck to each other, like it takes some real niggas for dudes to link up and be like, dog, we need to have
All right.
they really sat with their boy.
In modern day, in modern day, in modern day, in modern day. Does my skin offend? Endowed with melanin since birth, I've been the scourge of the Puritan, swarmed by the wasp, whose malleable face flutters together to form new continents on new continents, but sowing the same seeds of discontent. But me, I'm happily nappy, treated crappily. Now you slap with the reality that brilliant minds are behind the supposedly blissless epidermis. Superiority complexes breed perplexed, egotistical monsters. But I have the elixir to help poor Dr. Jekyll with his affliction, his addiction, and social superstition. Brand new sneakers on my feet. My babies don't have food to eat in modern day. Got 1,000 friends of mine I only see when I'm online in modern day. Got 1 million cars on the road, but me, I can't get where I need to go in modern day. Starving kids fighting wars, but me, I eat till I am sore in modern day. In modern day. Well, what else can you sell those with pale cover to comfort them while you steal the earth and charge them for it? At least I'm not them, right? Feed their fears with bullets and tears, false authority fashioned in bronze and condemnation, murders, masks, and service and protection with stolen elections, with no genuine explanation for the first world face you replace to hide the genocidal concubine whose last husband praised fairness with flat hand pointed straight to the sky. Oh, what horrors lie when pasty faces become the pastry baked and broiled, but not from trees like these special cases. Genitalia cut and burned like pagan rituals, fools. How big a broom to clean this? How large a rug to hide these thugs? And oh yes, thugs. Because we need a new name less than humane and make it trendy. The mass media manipulation to excuse the demon you've let brew to boil and the pot is wailing. These failings are obvious to all but you. How you defend the Jews. But who chose the richest berry for the origin of this primordial stew? How much control do you have without your monopoly on God? You can't choose the chosen people and stuff it into brown bellies. Science itself has cradled its mind. From the start of time, the mother of all lands and people outweigh your steeplechase. Uncovered is that which is truly self-evident, that all men are equal, all things being equal. Let's make some modern day adjustments.
Okay, brother, you had some good stuff in there. You got a little academic at certain points, and you need to get more poetic about it because you're saying some important things. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing that I appreciated in your presentation. You can sing your butt off if you decide that you're going to sing, because you got a nice voice, and you should really go ahead and explore that a little bit more. But now I'm not going to allow you to do the second piece because our time is kind of running out, and we got and we got one other person. I want to try to get as many people in as possible, and we haven't heard from my man Paul, and I want to hear from him before we go. So please, Paul, you ready? You got something for us?
Yeah. Can I share my screen again?
Yes,
yeah,
Paul.
yeah.
Give me 1 second to give you the privilege.
This is about a lot of stuff tonight was put out there in terms of history.
Good to
right.
Go, Paul.
And this history is also about the whole idea of workers fighting for their rights. And I tried to put this together in relation to the holidays, not the one you guys were speaking of, but the one that gets pushed down everyone's throat.
Yeah.
So here we go. And this one's a short one. It's called Defending the Elves.
Defending the Elves. Okay.
Hopefully we're going.
Good evening. I'm a lawyer with the law firm Justice for the Rich. I'm here representing the elves against Santa. For those of you who don't celebrate Christmas or who don't believe, you know this is all a metaphor anyway. For those of you who have gotten wind that the elves were thinking about striking and disrupting Christmas, you can be rest assured that the Union for the Elves realizes that obviously this was would be a very bad PR move. There would be the endless camera shots of crying children. No one would care about the elves and the oppressive conditions that they have to endure in the North Pole, which is melting. The elves don't seem to be concerned about this. However, we are representing the penguins on the melting North Pole. But back to the elves, their complaint is about being brought to the North Pole with promises of jobs and prosperity. The elves tell a different story where they work in dangerous conditions, long hours, making crap, nothing anybody can use. They feel useless. All meaning to life has been lost. When asked about the rumors of the Union asking that the children be removed, didn't the elves want to be near their children? And they said, yes, they did. They just didn't want them working with them in these horrible conditions. Other complaints are the lack of choices that the elves have. They have to buy all their supplies through the Santa warehouses where prices are high. Santa has offered credit cards with Santa interest. Then there are the Santa mortgages and the Santa banks. And yes, the elves find themselves living with the Huskies outside and homeless. It may sound familiar, the names have been changed, but let's be clear, the same people are being fucked. I'm here to represent them, at least until their pension plan runs out. Then they're on their own. Our law firm has a reputation. We will write every possible appeal just to keep the case going, even though we all know it's not going anywhere. We will be dealing with the scab elves making next year's toys. Meanwhile, we are asking and taking for donations for the soup kitchens, for the elves and their families. This is a time to remember what they've done for you. Try not to focus on all the times that you didn't get what you wanted from Santa Claus, because it wasn't the elves' fault. The only statement we have from Santa headquarters is they say rape them until they plead guilty. This might sound harsh coming from Santa, but he's got a job to do. So those of you who will be opening up your presents from Santa, remember the elves. And by the way, this was sponsored by Rudolph the Whistleblower.
You know what, Paul? Only you could do that. Only you could do that. And I live, you know, on the street name on my block is George Carlin. George Carlin would just love that. I'm sure he's up in heaven listening and laughing his head off right now, because that sounds like something George Carlin would say.
I know.
That's special. And I mean, of course, and like you said, this is metaphorical anyway. But we know who who is who. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me be here. Much appreciated.
Oh man, I appreciate you. Always do. Your style, your way of doing things, it's always fascinating and it's original. And that's what I appreciate. You know, it's the originality. And the fact that you always giving us something satirical to enjoy. It's always some satire. Bree, are you here, Bree? Bree.
I'm here.
All right, baby. Let's hear from Bree.
Okay.
I think you'll be our last one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
After that, then we gotta go. Sorry for anybody that we didn't get, but after
right.
Bree,
Well, we'll have to get him next time.
Yeah.
Because we gone over time, but that's all right.
Y'all just be in it for 2021. That's it.
That's it. Absolutely. So Bree, you got the floor, baby.
Okay. And afterward, I wanted to say something real quick. This one's called Transitions.
All right.
That's a good title.
Shut up. That's all right. 922. That date will forever ring at the core of my being. I remember closing my ears to keep from hearing me and Unc singing, loudly in the midst of being chastised for skipping. Pictures and videos of you feeding me. I hated recalling your voices. Hi, Bria. Hey, little Missy. I'm clinging to memories. Every rising at the sign of first light, I happen to look up at the exact same time to witness formation and flight. It feels personal, like you're letting me know it's you. When I kissed your shells, I felt me fall inside myself. It cemented the sentiment we're simply having a human experience, and initially that seemed to help. Then I realized my spirit is where all that sorrow dwelled. Unprotected sex, fermented starches, and poppy plants as a means of healing, not knowing that our truly not dealing would be our undoing. In school, I did presentations on suicide and HIV, never considering that through you, it would relate to me so heavily. It's important you know your transitions that once crippled me revealed there is so much higher to ascend. And those generational curses that tried their damnness to do us in, I'm breaking them. My father looks me in the eyes when I'm talking to him. I understand now, we shared the pain. I'm clean, we're all finally free, and I'm gonna be more than okay. Ashe.
Wow.
You know what? The piece, let me say this straight up. You had some very good points in there, but you cheated sometimes when you started saying this generational pain. Poet, you can't get away with that. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. When you're gonna use those kinds of terms, you got to give me what that is. You got to show me. I need to get an example. I need to be able to
cry.
Baby,
we're gonna have a workshop. We're gonna have a workshop. I got you. We're gonna have a workshop.
It's okay. It's all right.
Girl, I felt all those emotions, so I was there. I got you.
I got her too. I understand, but at the same time, I want her to go ahead and punch it in the face like it's supposed to be. All right. That's all I want to say.
Peace.
Listen.
Yeah, good.
But what you said was on point, and that's important. It's an important message. I just want your message to be more potent because you got the potency. You can. Just don't be lazy. Go for it. When the poet has got to work the language, we want to work the language so you can smell it, taste it, touch it, feel it, hear it, or see it. But you got to work it. You can't tap into my academic mindset or my intellectual understanding of words to try to express your poetry. Poetry doesn't come from the intellect. It comes from the soul and the heart. And the mind is just a bridge so that we can travel across waters to express ourselves. It's a beautiful art. It's a fine art. And it's played. But when you really are a poet, it's like you can almost get away with just making sounds if they're the right tone. And it'll work.
Yeah.
Okay?
I got you.
All right. Listen up, everybody. This has been another tremendous moment. And today is Kujichagalia. self-determination, and we're moving into 2021. This is the last time we will be together for 2020. We all have supposed to have learned some significant lessons in 2020. If you have not learned a lesson from 2020, shame on you. The lesson's been all around us. We have learned personal lessons. We've learned group lessons. We've learned lessons about this country, what it represents, and who's representing who. There have been a lot of things that have revealed themselves in 2020. We're supposed to take all this information, all that we've learned, and build a whole world that will be safe and secure for our growth and development. That's all we're supposed to do. We cannot moan or groan about the situation. We Black folks especially have learned the hypocrisy of this country for a long time. We're very familiar with the madness, the lies, the unfortunate circumstances that we've had to grow up under. But at this moment, knowing that Mother Nature herself is ushering in a change, we have got to flow with that and grow with that. And I believe we can. I know we can. And I believe that this virtual open house was designed for that purpose, for us to not only reach out to each other in spite of this quarantining, but to also reach out beyond the shores, because we got people from all over the planet who are engaged and been involved with us, which is very special to me. I've never given the technology that much credit, but I see its value. And I'm very grateful that I've got people here to help me. I want to thank Masani, because Masani's a sister that you have not heard her poetry, and she's a monster poet, but she doesn't necessarily like to stand on the stage and drop it. But her stuff is ridiculous. And she's also helped me do this little technical parts, because I'm not at all equipped to do all that. And I want to thank my sons, Mr. Pharaoh and Mr. Ade and Mr. Oba and Eben, because Eben was here today and he helped out also. So I've got a crew of people around me, and I want to thank all of y'all. And I want you to recognize that all we're trying to do is become whole people in every possible way and share whatever wholeness that we've discovered in ourselves with each other, so you can find a way to find yourself and be a better self than you've been before. And I'm loving what I've been hearing, and I would like for you all to make sure that you send your poems in to Juanita so we can hook up this anthology. I think you'll be very pleased and happy to see all that work put together and made available for us in the future. It will mark the moment that we've had together during some turbulent times. And I think that in itself will stand out. We're going to end it the way we started, and I hope that everybody's ready. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy, and
free.
I want to say what I know to help my brothers and sisters
grow.
I want to feel good about me and blame no one for mine
misery.
But I'll be strong, turn it around. I want to go up. I'm not going
down.
I want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come
true.
Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it.
When I was sad.
I
made my art even when I was sad.
Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art.
Even when
I was sad. I want to share whatever my gift. And when you're feeling low,
I'll give you a lift.
I want to live without fear. And know that I'm blessed for being
here.
Know that you're blessed for being
here.
Know that we're blessed for being
here.
And know that we are blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And let's continue to writing and share. And if you want to talk to me at all about something personal that you're doing, you get my number from Juanita. I'll be glad to talk to anybody.